So, I'll tell you a little bit about my students first. This is going to be a 10th grade world studies class. We go from Paleolithic era all the way up to about 1450s. Students are pretty much all really low on the socioeconomic scale. Our class is probably something like 70% male, which actually is how most of the school is. And it's intriguing, especially since the school was set up to provide more of a route for women to get into STEM education. So it's intriguing. Most of the students have been at Taft Academy since 6th grade. They all know each other. It's a really small school, so all the teachers know them. They know all the teachers. This lesson is specifically going to be placed within a greater context of, we're going to be doing 3 phases for a civilization project. They will have just ended their phase on research, so they will know all about their chosen civilization. Stuff like peers, so they'll know politics, education, economics, religious and societal factors of their civilization, and other things about it, including how it came to power and how it ultimately met its demise. This lesson in particular is going to be an intro into phase 2, which is a debate phase. Okay, so we will start just by journaling. So if you guys want to pull out your journal / a piece of paper. What you're going to be journaling about today is 2 questions. The first is, what makes for a good debating strategy? When you go into a debate, what kinds of things do you want to do in the debate? That can go from physical, how do you want to look as you're debating, to more oral, what kinds of things do you want to say? How do you want to get your message across to the audience? The second thing I want you guys to journal about is what kinds of things need to be included in a successful opening statement. Okay? So 2 questions, what makes for good debating strategy? And second one is, what needs to be included in a successful opening statement? And we'll do that for 2 or 3 minutes. All right, we'll do about 30 seconds left, and then just give a heads up when you're ready. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're just going to do some brainstorming based on your guys' journaling. So first, what kind of debating strategies did you guys come up with?
I put using a clear voice and tone when speaking.
Clear voice and tone.
I said look professional and alert.
I also wrote down the Hillary Clinton power suit.
I will keep that professional.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, what else?
I originally had written avoid open-ended responses, like when you're answering a question, but I actually think that's a strategy to have an open-ended response. So maybe avoid narrow questions that kind of pigeonhole you. So to restate that, avoid single-track answers questions.
Okay.
You kind of understand where I'm going
elaborate a little bit further?
So if I'm debating with Cami and I ask her a question that I want a specific answer towards, she needs to be able to reframe the question in a way that gets her out of that narrow response.
Okay, so being able to make a turn on something.
Yes.
Being able to take a question and then twist it so that it goes to your advantage.
Yeah.
So be flexible.
I'll call that knowing how to be flexible, or defensive, or just turning a question to your advantage. Okay.
Thank you.
What else?
I said be organized and well prepared.
Organized. Do either of you know how people who are going into, let's say, presidential debates, how they prepare?
Research, right?
I think one of their staffers sits with them for hours and just bullets them with questions.
Yeah, exactly. So what they do is they have their entire team doing research, but they also sit down and one person plays the role of whoever they're going to be debating against. And so that they can try to act out what they're going to be doing on stage. Okay, good. That's a good start. Now opening statements. What kinds of things need to be part of good, successful opening statements?
I said your main claim.
I said this is probably similar to Cammy's, making a powerful stance, taking a powerful stance.
Okay.
And then I said, like, you might want to say something attention-grabbing that starts persuading the audience towards your direction right from the beginning.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, universal truth.
I think you want to stand out, and maybe that would help you stand out if you say something
Okay.
no one else is saying.
It's
Good.
kind of like undeniable. Everyone's just like, oh, like that's undeniable, man. Like I gotta be on this guy's side.
Immediately you know that person's in the right, which might mean that everything else they say could be in the right. So a nice little thing to sway people from the very beginning. Okay, anything else?
I said align your statement with like your vision, so like using your statement as like a, you know, your tagline kind of thing.
Okay, so being able to state what you stand for.
Mm-hmm.
So tagline, or organizations would call it a mission statement.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I might repeat, this might be debating strategy, but I might repeat a key word over and over again, like America or
Change, hope,
yes,
progress.
that's strategy.
Obama.
Just being able to say in the middle of the debate, Obama. I don't know if that'd be good or bad. Okay. Yeah, repetition is key. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is we'll come back to this. But first, we're actually going to watch a few minutes of the opening statements of the Democratic National Debate from just a month ago. I wanted to choose Democrats and Republicans, but Republicans currently have like 10 people running, which would get a little bit long. So I went with the Democrats, and I went with their top three, so we can listen to that.
Maybe.
There is certainly a lot of excitement in this room tonight, and no doubt around the country. We're back in the win. Governor O'Malley, you have two.
So much red, white, and blue. It makes you want to barf. Gosh.
It's a big party for America. So what you guys are going to be looking for specifically are these two things. Look for what kinds of debating strategies do they use in their opening statements. What's their body saying? What's actually coming out of their mouths? Maybe look at their eyes. Are their eyes moving around or are they focused? Things like that. And then secondly, really focus in on what types of things are in their opening statement. How do they start? How do they end? And then what exactly is in the middle?
Next.
My name is Martin O'Malley, former mayor of Baltimore, former governor of Maryland, a lifelong Democrat, and most importantly, a husband and a father. My wife Katie and I have 4 great kids, Grace and Tara, and William and Jack. And like you, there is nothing we wouldn't do to give them healthier and better lives. There are some things that I have learned to do better in life than others. And after 15 years of executive experience, I have learned how to be an effective leader. Whether it was raising the minimum wage, making our public schools the best in America, passing marriage equality, the DREAM Act, and comprehensive gun safety legislation, I have learned how to get things done because I am very clear about my principles. Thanks to President Obama, our country has come a long way since the Wall Street crash in 2008. Our country is doing better. We are creating jobs again. But we elected a president, not a magician. And there is urgent work that needs to be done right now. For there is a deep injustice, an economic injustice that threatens to tear our country apart. And it will not solve itself. Injustice does not solve itself. What I'm talking about is this. Our middle class is shrinking. Our poorer families are becoming poorer. And 70% of us are earning the same or less than we were 12 years ago. We need new leadership and we need action. The sort of action that will actually make wages go up again for all American families. Our economy isn't money, it's people. It's all of our people. And so we must invest in our country and the potential of our kids to make college a debt-free option for all families instead of saddling our kids with a lifetime of crushing debt. And we must square our shoulders to the great challenge of climate change and make this threat our opportunity. The future is what we make of it. We are all in this together. And the question of this election is whether you and I still have the ability to give our kids a better future. I believe we do. That is why I am running for president, and I need your help. Thank you.
Governor O'Malley, thank you very much. Senator Sanders.
Anderson, thank you very much. I think most Americans understand that our country today faces a series of unprecedented crises.
Looks like.
The middle class of this country for the last 40 years has been disappearing. Millions of Americans are working longer hours for low wages, and yet almost all of the new income and wealth being created is going to the top 1%. As a result of this disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision, our campaign finance system is corrupt and is undermining American democracy. Millionaires and billionaires are pouring unbelievable sums of money into the political process in order to fund super PACs and to elect candidates who represent their interests, not the interests of working people. Today, the scientific community is virtually unanimous. Climate change is real, it is